So obviously, we have been quiet and out of touch and not doing a lot of video editing and posting over the last few weeks. And we just wanted to get together with you and tell you why that's been and what's going on. And
What's ahead?
we were in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and coronavirus was in the news, and things were starting to happen a little bit.
And we were being cautious, but we weren't that concerned. In fact, we were very happy to stay in Malaysia and ride the thing out.
Just about to purchase air tickets
like that day
from Kuala Lumpur up to Penang. And then our next stop was Bangkok after that to see our friends and colleagues from when we lived there. So we had this grand plan through Asia.
But we got an email from the State Department. So we got on a plane 24 hours later.
Well, we are off to the airport unexpectedly. Airlines are rapidly cutting flights, and we needed to get a flight while we still had a chance.
Traveling during the pandemic was crazy.
It wasn't crazy like frenetic. It was crazy in like Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
The airport was empty. Of the thousands and thousands of airports in the world, Kuala Lumpur International Airport is the 23rd busiest. There's a lot of people that move through here, but it is a ghost town now. I just remember the monitor screens at KL International were just cancel everything. And then where we were going was like on time. Yes.
And to be honest, I was really afraid to fly home because I felt like if I was going to get the coronavirus, I was going to get it on a plane.
It turned out the flight was empty.
Completely
we had
empty.
Not just the row to ourselves, but the row in front and back as well.
And on the sides.
It
was
on the sides as well.
We had like 20 seats to ourselves, so it's pretty good. Well, and nobody's on the flight.
Well, so this is
our left.
This is a 787 that holds, I think, 292 people.
And it was that way the whole way home. The airports were super empty.
I was in Narita about a year ago, and this area was just packed with people and a hive of activity. And right now I am the only person in it, other than Kim, of course.
Hi! So we get back to San Diego. That's where we landed.
That in itself was a little eerie because we were on these deserted planes and we're in these deserted airports, and KL was locking down. They closed the gym in our apartment complex and the pool and the common areas. And we get to San Diego and there's like, nobody's wearing a mask. There's no warnings about the coronavirus. We go through immigration. They're not like, where were you? They said, where did you come from? We said, we just came from Asia. And we listed these countries we'd been to: Cambodia and Vietnam and Singapore and Malaysia.
All the ones that were locking down at the time, and they're like, welcome home. Yeah. First few days at the beach, I was really afraid. I was afraid because there were so many people out. But like 2 days after we got there, everything started closing. They closed the boardwalk, they closed the beach, and then it became a ghost town. And that was the other side of scary eerie, because I grew up going to Pacific Beach and Mission Beach, and I've never seen it without people. Even in the winter, it was...
And I grew up there at the beach almost every weekend. We lived there, right on Pacific Beach when we first got married. Seeing nobody on the beach and nobody on the boardwalk, as Kim said, that was the other side of eerie.
We have seen a lot. But we have seen things for the first time in this trip that I probably would have never guessed. Empty planes, empty airports.
Endless cancellations.
Grounded planes.
Westerners in Asia wearing masks.
Is a very odd sight to see.
I wore a mask in China because of the pollution.
Well, yeah, so there's that. After we quarantined at the beach for 2 weeks, we went up to Descanso. And that's when we thought we would get creative and start editing some of our video backlog.
But
no.
we stayed at my mom's house, and there's nothing like saying, yes, I'm over 50 and living with my mom.
She has a lot of property. She has a nice sized house.
Read a lot of work for me to do.
And it was actually the perfect place to isolate.
Yeah, she lives on this dead-end deserted road with very few people, so we were able to walk every day.
Yeah.
I was able to get out for a run. There's a little elementary school that I went to when I was a kid that has a track now. So we did some running there. We walked to the riverbed. And my mother's backyard is is bordered by national forests.
And like everybody else around the world, I baked sourdough bread.
Lots of baking. You know, we went through the protocols of washing the vegetables, which was the thing at the time, and I had time to make salsa. So I was able to work
a little
outside.
colder than I would like.
It was a little bit on the chilly side, but you know, I set my computer up outside in the sun and made the standing desk with the bird bath. I made a homemade gym in my mom's garage after I cleaned it out for her.
He made actually a little short video of it, so we'll link down below to it. It's pretty funny.
Well, that's pretty dorky.
One of the things that we determined while we were in this time of just hanging out was we really like traveling. We really like documenting our journey. So we invested in a little camera equipment. So he used the opportunity to make some really random, silly videos with the new equipment. They're really silly.
Riveting video of me making salsa. I was going to say, if you've got extra time, but you make time to watch this one.
A few weeks ago, our son came to Descanso in time for Mother's Day. I'm super thrilled by that, but he got bored. And that brought us here to Tucson.
Packed up the car and brought him back to University of Arizona.
Okay, what's next? So we've been toying with a bunch of different ideas. Maybe doing like the Yellowstone National Park loop, maybe doing something down Route 66, a small town America tour. But as we started to research those, we saw that Yellowstone opened up this week and there were just crowds of people.
So one of the other things we're looking at for the next step for us in this period when we're grounded is hiking from Tucson to Las Vegas.
Not the whole 430 miles.
I tried to convince her that we could do it.
So we're going to plan some hikes from 4 major hubs. So we're going to start in Tucson. We're going to do some hikes around here. We're going to go up to Phoenix because we do need to see my mother, and we'll do hikes from there.
We need to spend some time in our storage shed too.
He does. We're going to go up to Flagstaff, see our friends from 6 feet apart, and do some hikes from there. And then we'll end up in Vegas, which is where our son will be coming in from India too. And then the other big project we have is we are going to start looking for a place to apply for residency.
Right.
So we will take you on that journey with us. We haven't determined where. We'll pursue our 60 countries by the time I turn 60.
One of the things that unfortunately we had to give up in all of this was my 10 and 10 project, learning 10 languages in 10 months. I'm disappointed in that, but I'm a little relieved too, because that was not easy.
Obviously on the back burner until we can get to more countries. We'll have to wait and see when people will let us in. So what's next for us? Yes, we're still traveling. Yes, we're still going to go to 60 countries by the time I'm 60. Yes, he's going to do 10 languages. It's just not going to be in 10 months, more like 20 months. And we are going to get better at making videos. What we would like to know is what you guys have been doing during this time. Have you guys been challenged creatively and in a funk like us? Have you created new hobbies? Are you baking bread? Any good recipes?
Who's making salsa?
We'll see you after our first hike.
Yeah. All right.